Hello everyone, today we are going to look at Fenrir's skills. Fenrir is an Avenger with Deviant and Enchanter synergies. These synergies aren't particularly strong, and the only standout one here is Avenger. However, her kit suggests she might be viable outside of Avenger teams, which would be unusual, as we've rarely seen this outside of Aphrodite and occasional Mavis Monarch team compositions. So, let's take a look at her skills. Her first and second active abilities deal magic damage to all enemies. The scaling is decent, nothing game-breaking, but her runes grant her a double action, effectively doubling this damage and making it quite significant. Her damage then skyrockets, as she'll cast these two abilities twice per round once you acquire her legendary runes, which is becoming easier to do since the developers are buffing the acquisition rate of these runes. So that's not really an issue anymore. Now, let's look at her first and second passive skills. Whenever an ally casts an ultimate, active skill, or basic attack, they gain to million max HP with no cap. This increases to 4 million per ability cast at her 8-star level, which is quite good. So, what does this mean? This suggests deploying her with Ophelia, who is also an enchanter. Ophelia converts 50% of max HP into attack. This combination could be terrifying in PvE and very effective in PvP. They're both enchanters, and then there's Corolla, who is also an enchanter. Corolla doubles the buffs received. And since Fenrir's HP gain has no limit, Corolla can permanently double these incoming buffs. This could be incredibly scary, as the synergy with Ophelia could lead to a massive amount of stacked attack in both PvE and PvP. I believe this skill has huge potential, though its effectiveness will obviously depend on how it's coded. Flat stat skills are usually lackluster, but if we compare them with a pledge unit that benefits from the flat attack, converted from HP by Ophelia, I think this could be really good. But again, it requires testing. In theory, it's a very good skill. And just because of this, Fenrir is shaping up to be one of the better heroes in Season 11 and one of the better heroes in general, and the first Avenger that might not be limited to only Avenger teams. Her second passive skill gives allies a 50% chance to gain 1 million attack with no limit. Whenever they hit an enemy, this amount increases to 2 million at 9 stars. Again, if we deploy her with Corolla, this becomes a potential for million attack per hit, though it is a 50% gamble. However, combining Ophelia, Corolla, the HP to attack conversion, in this passive, you can scale an insane amount of attack and transfer it all to a pledge hero. It's going to be quite insane, in theory. Pairing them with Pandora for DPS would be a warm composition for any PvE content, of course. This is all theoretical, but it makes sense on paper and looks very promising. Now let's take a look at her oath skills. Each time Fenrir casts her ultimate, she gains 5% additional attack, stacking up to 50 times. Keep in mind, her runes allow her to act twice. This first part isn't overly impressive, however. The second part states that whenever Fenrir receives healing, she gains additional attack equal to 25% of the healing received, up to 25 million. This scales to 100 million at her 12-star level. This is basically Audrey's passive. It's a very similar mechanic, and is quite good. In my theoretical team composition, you're also pairing her with Corolla, so this buff becomes even easier to stack. I think it's a good, well-balanced oath skill. Not a broken one. I like it. I hope they keep doing this in the future. But let's go back to her passive skills. I don't think they will be balanced. In theory, they seem super broken for PvE. In my opinion, it won't be as broken in PvP, just okay. For example, you can have Isis provide similar buffs to Avengers or something comparable. But in PvE, having no limit is scary. That's really scary. So that's about it. Overall, I think Fenrir is strong, and I believe all the Season 11 heroes are going to be good. I predict Odin will be a must-have due to his Holy Shield negation. Combined with her scaling and oath skill, yeah, she seems kind of broken all around, in theory. I think Odin is the best and safest bet. The second best hero will likely be Fenrir. And the weakest will be the snake, or rather, Jormungandr. She is tricky to use, similar to Lilith from Season 10, I think. Not a bad hero, but one that requires very specific team compositions and scenarios to be effective. So, my ranking would be Odin, Fenrir, and then Jormungandr as for Hel. We don't know her skills yet, but she will be a Fate synergy hero, so I'm not including her in this comparison. That's about it. Enjoy the rest of your day and the season.